Hey, this is Dr. Bagley. Thank you very much for joining me. Today, I'm going to do a special presentation. We're going to continue with today with heart, and I'm going to continue on with the other ones. I did a post out there, and I said, give a gift to your inner love. And so I wanted to explain to you, for those who are maybe interested in understanding a little bit more about those topics like your heart, your pancreas, your liver, your kidneys. So today I'm going to talk to you about the heart. Just give you some nuggets on some things that you can start to research on. Very, very simplistic in the explanation of it all. But I wanted to gear you towards the right way of thinking of how to think when it comes to your heart and the gift that you can give it. So as you can see, this is the heart. The heart has two positions that I want to point out today. One, the heart itself, it is a muscle. So we want to look at the muscle itself, and then we want to look at what this muscle does. What does it do? All right, let's go on to the next one. How do we measure it? It's a way to measure. It's not the ultimate way. It's just something we can do at home. Gives you a general gist of something. The top number is when the force of your heart pumps out. Now, be mindful. Your heart number can jump, especially in my case. I can run, I can swim, I can do a lot of things, and that number will jump high, like 190. But that's my heart pumping. Now, why is it pump hard? Because I'm exerting my other muscles. And because I'm exerting my other muscles, the heart needs to pump the blood. That's what it does. It pumps the fluids around, and then the blood goes to the lungs, pick up oxygen. Oxygen goes back and into your body to oxygenate the muscles for usage. So pumping is a good thing. It will fluctuate from a rest, boom, 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 to a boom, 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 hard when you bust out there. The bottom number, diastolic, it's a relax, not necessarily rest, because your heart, it technically doesn't rest, it just relaxes. So what happens is your heart pumps and then it relaxes, pumps and relax. Now, that pumping, we know it pushes the fluids out. Relaxing is a suction. So it's sucking the fluid back in, pushing it, suctioning back the fluids back in itself, pushing it, sucking. All right, so the relaxing is the suction aspect. The lower number, the bottom number tells us a timeline or a number of how long, let's just use how long, relaxes into the suction aspect. So it's not that the muscle just like relax. No, it just boom, suctions back. The reason it's a serious issue is because of the numbering system. We found over time in science, we found the pushing is okay. That's one number. The pushing is one number, but the relaxing, the suction, if it's nice and clean, if your arteries and veins is nice and clean, like this picture here of the traffic, then it's got a nice little rhythm to it. It's nice, it's relaxed, and it should be. It will be different. The relaxing aspect should be different. Now, me, I'm a very active person. I have a rest number, and then I have a blood pressure number. My blood pressure is always, and I don't care how healthy I can get myself, it has always been hypertension stage 1. But that's me. Everyone is different, a normal person. So this is normal, doesn't mean that's you. Normal doesn't mean healthy. Normal doesn't mean healthy. Elevated is just elevated, okay? But your elevated might be normal, and your hypertension might be normal. It's just giving you ranges. So be mindful of that. If you have a stage 1 hypertension, then in your history, if it's genetically, it's in your history of being hypertension, then that could be your normal. But here's the thing. If that's your normal, then it's good. Our concern is not necessarily the bigger number. The concern is the the systolic, the lower number. That's more of a concern because it tells us the suction is forcing the suck versus just relaxing and it's suctioning. So in this traffic zone here, it's a relax, it's flowing. But think about the relaxing aspect. It's sucking the traffic through a smaller position because it's blocked up, and that's forced. That's a forced position, and then that's why that lower number is really an issue because we have to look at the lower number more so than a high number. But I'm just saying they both matter, but it's just be mindful of those numbers. The heart by itself as a muscle, if it's not relaxing, if it's not doing its job, how it does its job, it itself in itself, sorry, it's a muscle and it can have a cramp, no different than your leg cramp can have a muscle. Why does your leg cramp have a muscle? Well, the old obvious is you're dehydrated. Dehydration is also why when you relax, the fluid that goes through your arteries and vein is the suction aspect is very harsh because the fluid is you're dehydrated. The fluid is thick. Okay. So how do I fix the hydration of the muscle and also helps with what the muscle does, the heart, you give it more fluid. Now, when I say fluid, we're talking about minerals, which is in salt water, which is the Mediterranean salt. So you need salt, sugar, the natural type of sugar, not as much, but some. And we'll talk about the pancreas and the liver when it comes to glucose later. But you do need some form of sugar. And then you need water, 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 water. Water. Think about it. What did I say? Water. Okay. If you're concerned about your water and you're urinating 3 or 4 times in an hour, you're drinking too much water. If you're not urinating once an hour, then you're dehydrated, which, by the way, if you're more concerned about you going to the bathroom because you work too much, then you're dehydrated. And if you're dehydrated, the suction aspect of your heart and the pumping aspect of your heart and what the heart does pushes the fluids out from itself and into itself, you're overstressing your heart. So be mindful of the fluids that you need. All right. Here is a deceptive picture, but it's understood of what it's trying to say is that you got blocked artery. We'll get into the blocked artery later and how to get rid of that safely, but just be mindful. The blood aspect is just one component. You got your blood there. You got your immune system called white blood cells. You got your hormones that's in there, and then you got the platelets that's in there. You got a whole bunch of stuff that's in your arteries and vein. Think about this. Medicine, the high blood pressure medicine that you guys or some of you guys are taking or should be or maybe not taking, it's not a thinner. There's no blood medicine. There's no medicine that thins your blood. What it does, it coats, the medicine coats or relax your system so it doesn't block itself. It flows through the blockage. That's deceptive. So keep in mind that is what we're doing. We're talking about a congestion of the fluids because of blockages, which also now the muscle in what it does is suctions the flow of the fluids into itself. It is harder. And then pushing it out is harder. Sucking it in is harder. Pushing it out. Eventually, you're taxing your muscle and you need fluids like we just talked about, fluids to help it so it doesn't cramp on you. But then there's another part of the heart attack. Think about there's a cramping position, stressing the heart out because of the lack of the right type of drink of fluids. And then there's the heart attack. It attacks the heart. The heart attack is when there's a blockage and you have an aneurysm, and that aneurysm affects the muscle itself. So as you see the muscle fibers, it actually affects that, and it just the muscle, it just ultimately stops because it's not getting the nutrients, it's not getting, and it's stressed, the system is stressed, and the heart. So a heart attack is basically a stroke in the heart, a blockage in the capillary system. So this is why the capillaries. So you have capillaries on your finger. So when you press it, you're actually pushing the capillary. So you have your head, these capillaries in your head, which from the blood flows from one capillaries, veins and arteries, capillaries on the other side. Okay, heart is the same thing. If you have a blocked artery, it's going to explode out of itself. That's the attack. That's the heart being attacked and heart attack. So how do we do that? We'll talk about losing weight later. How do we get rid of the artery blockage? We'll talk about that later. Just know that's what a heart attack is. So there is the muscle and what it does. It needs fluids just as much as your leg muscles to keep from cramping. And then there is the attack. What it does, it pushes out the fluids, which makes the heart and what it is harder to do what it does. And then now we have the attack on it, that the attack is the blocked artery, or in some cases the veins at the capillary level, and there's a blockage and an aneurysm, and it just goes outside and it attacks the heart, which the muscle then just can't do what it does. So you have a heart attack, which is a stroke. In the head is a stroke, which affects that, and a heart attack is still a blockage. A blockage is a blockage. So the point is, we just be mindful that is what the heart attack is. It's a blockage. So what do we do? Give a gift, guys, to your heart and your arteries and your veins and your capillaries. So the muscle itself, help it out with certain fluids, like all your muscles in your whole body. Give it some Mediterranean salt, give it some vitamins. Make sure you're taking your vitamins. Do the chewable or the gummy kind. Don't do the hard one, because the hard one just doesn't digest. 20% of absorption into your body system. So be mindful of that. And then water, guys. Not to say you can't drink other, but majority of it's water. Water thins your blood. Water helps your muscle called the heart. So it helps the muscle itself, and it helps the muscle in what it does. So water is a miracle thing that you need. And so you need to start drinking more water. At least urinating once an hour. Please hydrate, tea, and all that other stuff. Okay? Sorry about that. So in context, that's what we're going to do. And so just give a gift back to your heart. And in doing so, be healthy. Let's be healthy and kind to our heart. That's our inner love, right? Okay, guys. So let me stop the sharing, and thank you very much for joining me and spending your quality time with me. And so nothing else. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I got a whole lot of holistic books and stuff out there that I can help you out if you need some assistance. If not, please just give your heart a gift this year and be more healthy. All right. Until next time, we'll talk about something else. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.